I never thought I'd tell this story. But some experiences shift you so deeply that staying silent stops being an option. She stood behind him, her hands gently adjusting his posture. He hadn't moved yet. He still believed this was something I'd arranged simply out of care, a thoughtful surprise. He didn't realize there was more to it. Before we get into ITF You're Here, take a moment to like and subscribe. What's coming next is something you won't want to miss. The towel had already been placed when I stepped back. The air was laced with eucalyptus, softened by something more delicate, something she must have chosen. I brushed the corner of the towel near his shoulder and whispered, "This is your surprise. Just relax, I'll be close." He smiled, eyes closed. He trusted me. He always appreciated these quiet gestures, things I put effort into. I stepped back as she entered the room. Calm, composed. Her dark hair was tied low. She met my eyes briefly before focusing fully on him. Her hands moved with experience and precision, grounded and steady. As she began, the tension in his back slowly started to fade. I took a seat, just outside his field of vision, watching quietly. She didn't speak. She remained completely focused on her work. He shifted slightly, still deeply relaxed, while she adjusted her stance without breaking rhythm. Every movement was professional, intentional. He was easing further into the moment. I rested my chin on my hand, studying them. He still thought this was just a massage I'd gifted him. He didn't know I was still there, watching from the edge, letting everything play out as planned. Then she spoke. Light, playful. "I think she's got the technique better than I ever did." His brow twitched slightly, not surprised, but intrigued, as if something had just clicked. She said nothing else. Just gave him a moment before continuing. One of her hands paused for balance while the other continued moving in slow rhythmic motions. I leaned in. He shifted slightly, now caught between comfort and awareness. The pace stayed steady. Her hands never broke rhythm. He hadn't figured it all out, but he was beginning to sense something. Her movements were calm, deliberate. She reached his shoulder again, letting one hand rest while the other hovered just above his side. He responded subtly, a shift in his shoulder, a breath held longer than before. That was the moment. Something had changed. I rose from my chair quietly. He still couldn't see me, but she could. She glanced at me as I lowered myself onto the ottoman beside him. I stayed fully clothed, my posture relaxed. I placed a hand gently on his arm. He moved slightly at my touch, eyes opening just a bit, but he didn't speak. He was still processing. She kept going, hand steady on his back, the towel still perfectly in place, the air still calm. Everything had changed, and none of us said a word. When she leaned in, whispering softly near him, not to him, he gripped the table just a little tighter. I didn't hear what she said. I didn't need to. His body language told me everything. She met my eyes again, and I gave a quiet nod. Then I gently redirected his gaze to me and said, "I didn't bring her here for me. I brought her for you." He swallowed and nodded. She leaned in again, whispering something just for him. His eyes flicked, still alert, but he stayed present. There was no confusion, no, only awareness. He shifted slightly, and she followed seamlessly. I touched his shoulder softly. "It's okay," I said. "She's with us." He met my eyes and nodded again, the understanding between us now complete. She moved over him with balance, her hands placed with precision. He breathed deeply, grounding himself, locking eyes with me as if searching for something solid. I nodded back, reassuring him. She wiped oil from his side with slow, controlled strokes. He pushed up slightly, adjusting his posture, his breath steady now. I kissed his cheek. Gently, he whispered my name. I smiled and brushed his shoulder again. His eyes were raw, vulnerable. Everything inside him had just surfaced. She moved again, gracefully. He matched her, not thinking, just responding, in tune with her presence. The room was quiet, except for the soft creak of the table. His hands, once tense, rested gently near her waist. As she shifted, he tensed briefly, then relaxed again. His heartbeat was steady. She studied him, calm and centered. He tilted his head, closing his eyes, then slowly adjusted as she moved. His breath caught, then steadied. I took his hand in mine, his fingers curled around mine, overwhelmed, but fully present. She didn't miss a beat, another breath. Steady, his posture softened. I kissed his temple and whispered, "Just breathe." She placed her hands gently over his, then slowed even more, sharpening her focus. He didn't move, he just felt. No more questions. No more uncertainty. He was here now, with us. He adjusted his legs subtly beneath him, grounding himself. I kissed him again, brief but steadying for both of us. We lingered there, in a pause that didn't need defining. His body was still, fully focused. Each moment between them carried weight. He didn't flinch, he was present. Tell me honestly, what do you think he was feeling in that moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. And if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, there's more coming. Thanks so much for being here.